Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Come on in. Pull a chair up to the Woman Up table. We are going to get started here in the next 30 seconds or so. We just want people to be able to come on in. As you join us, of course, let us know where you're watching from because we always love to know that. So welcome, everyone. It's 2023. It's a year of seven.
Happy New Year. I think I can still say that.
Absolutely. I keep saying happy 2023 because so many people have different actual New Year's.
That's correct.
And yeah, not everyone goes by the Gregorian calendar.
After Gregory. Anyway.
Yes. A pope. Pope did it. I love it. All right, let's get going here. Oh my goodness, it's 2:01 p.m. on Friday the 13th. One of my personal favorite days. It is a super historically marked day for the divine feminine. So what a perfect day to have the Woman Up first show of the year on a feminine energy day. Woo, I love it. We are so happy to be back.
With the myth that it's bad luck, right?
Yeah, I love black cats. I've broken many mirrors. I've walked under ladders, and I have not had bad luck in my life. It's like I carry my blessings with me, just like I carry my weather with me. And I know so many in our community do the same. And for those of you who haven't reached that point yet, you're in the right place because there's lots of mentors who can help you with that mindset shift. Welcome, Woman Up community to 2023. This is our first show of the year. Again, for those of you coming in, please let us know in the comments in the chat box where you are watching from. We always love to see all the different places everyone is watching.
I love it. It's from all over the country. Did you see that? Denver and Portland and Sacramento and Irvine, Upland, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Austin, Texas. Hi, everybody.
Oh, I got somebody from Shuttown. I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh, all up and down California, of course. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. You know what? We are so excited to step up and into 2023 together with all of you. As you saw on the invite, we have invited special guests to join us today to share words of wisdom with everyone today. So we'll get into that in a little bit. I've got a couple of Woman Up updates. The first is, I know a lot of you are like itching to know date and location of our 2023 conference. And while we'd love to be able to share with you, we're still working out the contract because, inflation and insanity with negotiating contracts is real. It's real. So we're being real with you and letting you know we can't announce it yet. However, that means you have more time to guess. So if you have not guessed over on Facebook yet, make sure you visit the Facebook group. We've got that post pinned. So guess date and location. And the first person to guess the right date and location wins a free VIP ticket, which is pretty rad. So make sure you do that.
Clue. We were asked to give a clue. What clue can we give that won't give it away?
It's in California.
Oh, well, yeah, there you go.
We could say it's in California, and yes, it is by water.
There you go.
Yeah, how's that? I know it's not a lot, but I know some people have been guessing outside of California, which I find so delicious.
And we'll put the link to where we're isn't it it's a Facebook post, not a poll, but make sure you drop it in there if you have a Facebook, or send us an email if you don't.
Yeah, I think Fatima is going to drop in the chat the direct link right to the Facebook group post so that you've got that. Speaking of outside California, in 12 days, well, really in a little less than that, but in 12 days from today, we will actually be hosting our annual Woman Up session at Inman Connect, New York. So we are going to be flying across the country to talk about refining your business plan. And, you know, when Sarah and I sat down and we're like, okay, how are we going to add some sizzle to this? Because we've had the business, you know, plan conversation. And so we are so excited for this session. We are so excited about it that it's on our vision board for our conference to do something similar to this, because we have about a dozen leaders scheduled to take the stage and in 2 minutes or less give mic drop advice. So they are boiling down their most given, most received, most loved wisdom on really what to look for in your business plan, things to consider, all of the things. And they are from all walks of the industry. So there's marketing and branding folks, there's people who are individual contributors, there are broker owners, executives. I mean, we have such an eclectic group. I'm so excited. So that is Wednesday, the 25th in New York. The session is from 12 to 12:45, so 12 to 1-ish. And then at 4:30, we'll have our meetup. And so we have a Facebook event page set up. You can access all of it if you go to IamWomanUp.com/meetup, and we'll keep that updated. You know how things get a little squirrely with locations in New York City. So just keep an eye out on the event page and on the website for exact details on the 25th. Woo! And I guess before I drop the mic over to you, Sarah, I should probably tell people who the heck I am.
That's it's the beginning of 2023.
Yes,
Yeah,
as we step into this beautiful 2023. For those of you who don't know me yet, I'm Deborah Trapin. I am one of the leaders over here in the Woman Up community. I love to say that anything that deals with the delicious experiences that our attendees, our community members, our sponsors, our wave makers experience is something that I am involved in. I love to be part of the strategy and right there with you inside the community, really engaging and hearing what you need and then finding ways to get you what you said you needed. So that's a little bit about me. Sarah, I'm so excited for this community to hear from you. So why don't you start by introducing yourself?
Well, hi, everybody. Happy 2023. I'm Sarah Sudichan. I've been an employee for CAR for 21 years plus, so over 2 decades. And I think I want to say that I built my career on challenging the status quo. And Woman Up is one example of that, but I also oversee our strategy and engagement department. So in my department, we have our research division, we have our housing affordability fund, charitable arm, we have our industry and broker relations, and our financial literacy and steps toward homeownership. So I want to highlight a few things that we're doing this year. We have our Steps Toward Homeownership, which is a virtual financial literacy boot camp. It has all of the closing cost assistance, lending programs, information about new programs that might be available to your potential clients to get them into homeownership. And that is our goal as realtors and as we face an ever challenging affordability, interest rate, and housing market environment. So that's our steps toward homeownership. We also do a lot for brokers. So if you are a broker in California, or if you are a broker that has offices in California, you are welcome to join us in any of our broker. We have industry leader town halls. That's our every other Friday broker town hall. We do it virtually. It's very easy to pop in. We ask you to give us questions in advance, and it's a really great way to commiserate and oh, that was a slip of the tongue.
That's awesome.
your colleagues. And I will say that we started this through the pandemic. And it has become a lifeline and almost like a saving grace for all of us and all of you in the brokerage community. So if you are not aware of that broker resource, email me, sarahs@car.org, and we will get you connected. One of the things we're doing new this year is we are infusing our broker resources into our board of directors and governance structure, and really to tie into the strategic planning of the association, how we provide services and offer new products and benefits to our members. And so we want to get the broker voice. We want to have a diversity of voice, and we want to have the broker voice in that structure. And so we are having what's a new thing for 2023, and it's a broker idea exchange forum. And we are launching our first one during our CAR business meetings in Indian Wells, the beginning February. So I think the meetings take place February 6th, actually February 7th, right after Women's Council. I see Sabrina in the chat here. So Women's Council takes place the 5th and 6th. Then our business meetings start on the 7th, and we have our broker idea exchange forum from 1 to 2:30. You can just come. It is open to any broker in California. So you can come, or you can submit some topics that you want us to discuss, you want us to bring forward through to our strategic planning group and to our board at large. So those are the big ones I wanted to share. Another thing we are growing in this service to our members, and that is our property management conference, our property management resources. So we have property management courses supplied through our store.car.org. And those are all courses that number one in popularity that we offer through our professional development through our for-profit arm. However, what we've done in the last couple of years is offer a property management conference, and that's really, it stems out of, in our broker conversations, the number one questions we have been getting, the number one area is in property management. And in California, we know that many cities are currently already majority renter cities. And by probably in the next couple of years, California will be a majority renter state. What does that mean for you? It means that there are opportunities for expanding your business reach into property management. And so if you're thinking about dabbling in that, if you're thinking about wanting to do it right, our property management conference is the first place to start. And then we have all these other resources. So that is taking place. And huge kudos to Melanie on the team who has taken this and just ran with it. Our first one was last year, and it was over 1,000 people joined us, and we expect even more this year. February 23rd, save the date, our registration drops next week. So that's it for CAR and broker updates. So
I love that. What's interesting is property management is a big deal here in Washington State as well. And it's such a beautiful marriage when realtors do property management and do it well.
Yes.
Because you create a great relationship with each other. And we started with one, and all they really did for us was make sure that we had everything in order as a property owner. And they collected our rent for us. And that's how it started. And then we're like, oh, well, maybe we want a little more. Maybe you want a little more. What else do you? And it was amazing. So I highly encourage it as somebody who has rental property. Like, it's finding somebody to manage your property that you trust, that like, and trust. Huge. Okay. So
that, it's a part of the homeownership ladder, right? And the whole ecosystem. So it's the relationship, it's the risk management, it's all of it. So I couldn't agree more. Anyway, go on.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so before we bring on some of our amazing leaders to share their wares from this virtual stage, would love to chat. You and I connected earlier this week about the show, and where our heart was for how to really kick off this message to the community. And I loved when we were talking about, as leaders, what we're doing to really prepare ourselves. I know we're going to get a lot of advice on the business side of things, but I thought it would be fun for us to kind of share what we're doing to kind of prepare for the year ahead, because this community has walked through some intense times together already in our 6 years, going into our 7th year, right? I mean, like, holy smokes, we've done a lot together.
Right.
And so I thought I'd kind of start by saying, I know I've said this so many times, to spoken this over you and into all of you so many times, but self-care, taking care of yourself first, is so incredibly important. Self-care is strategic, it's savvy, and it's not selfish. And when I say self-care, I don't mean body care. Now, body care is part of self-care, right? But I mean the whole kit and caboodle. Like, how are you filling your own soul session time? Are you meditating? Are you doing some form of exercise, whether you're walking or going to the gym and, blowing off some steam? But we're carrying a lot for the people that we lead, especially when we walk into it unknown ahead, right? Because that's 2023 is unknown. We don't know what's coming yet. So please take some time and schedule it into your calendar this year. Schedule in time to care for yourself. For me, I tend to do that right in the morning and then right before I go to sleep, because I run a million miles a minute in the in-between time. And, personally, I ended the year in 2022 not healthy. I had a gut issue. And when I sat down and was forced to rest, I realized that I was thinking self-care was rest. And so that's my second reminder to all of us. Like, taking a bubble bath at night is not rest. I know it feels good, but also setting time aside every week to rest, to simply be. That might be, sitting in your favorite chair with a book. That might mean putting some headphones in and heading outside. But resting, turning off the technology and being still, that is such an important thing for us as we are walking into 2023. For those of you who follow my Fire Up business, you know that I'm also super passionate about choosing a guiding word. I'm gonna ask Sarah what hers is in a second. But I choose a word every year. I don't do the resolutions anymore, because I find that finding a word to help me remind myself of how I want to feel in the year ahead, it has been so much more impactful. So if you haven't chosen a word for your year, I'll drop in the comments a link to a free download that will help you create your word and then create an acrostic or an acronym from it. My word this year is serenity. And what I love about that word is that serenity isn't the absence of suffering or strife or change. It is a place that reminds me that the peace inside me is what I create. So the world doesn't have to be at peace for me to be at peace. And so that everything I'm doing this year, I'm like, is that gonna mess with my serenity? Is it gonna mess with my serenity? Maybe that's a no then. So hopefully that's inspiring some of you. Sarah, if you don't mind, before you share yours, I'd love to hear your word.
Well, my word also has a lot to do with my focus for this year, and my advice for the leaders on this call. And my word is positivity. And I used Deborah's download because Deborah asked me before New Year, do you have your word for next year? Do you have your word? And no, I didn't, as I usually don't. And I'm like, how is she going to come to me? I didn't know. So I actually did the exercise, and it was really helpful because what your exercise did for me, Deborah, was it helped me hone in on what I really want to do. What really matters, who I want to connect with, and how I want to be seen, heard, and felt in 2023.
Yeah.
And so, and that's really, it goes along with my focus, which is being confident and showing real positivity. And what I mean by that is not being just positive, bubbly, positive and Pollyanna about things, but really cautiously optimistic in everything I do. And how I got there was I was in a kind of a you would be surprised, I know, but I really went down on myself hard at the end of last year. And it was this negative self-talk loop I had. It was like on repeat in my mind. And I had the exercise helped me get out of that and really see the forest through the trees and look up and out. And the word has helped me on the daily since I chose my word several weeks ago, because I'm able to kind of go back, not to the word positivity, but to what it means. And that is, how I want to show up this year, how I want to lead my team, how I want to, how I want the outcomes to be. And so that's where I ended up with positivity. And it was really the reminder, I think the reminder that this is bigger than me. It was the reminder of my purpose and the service to my people, to our members at CAR, to this beautiful WomanUP community that got me back out of that negative self-talk loop, because I was thinking all about myself, right? It was all about me, like, oh my God, I'm so, me. And it just felt so ego driven. And when I got out of that, when I really thought about my purpose and who I'm serving, it just lifted me out of that funk. Yeah. And so I encourage you all to do the exercise if you haven't, or just go back to your core values, go back to who you are and what you are here to do. And that alone helped me. And then the word just kind of presented itself. So
yes. Well, that's the magic of it, right? And for those of you who are like, I haven't done my core values, don't worry. There's a link to that inside this whole this whole offering that is at that link, because this is such a great time of year to revisit those things. So revisiting your values, looking at, what is the feeling that you want to feel throughout this year? What is a word you want people to use to describe you this year? Like, these are all beautiful things to think about as we're kind of hibernating in this winter season. And as humans, we don't hibernate the same as the bears. We still have responsibilities, but, in the evenings, take a little, I love the hygge, Hygge. If you've never researched the art of hygge, it is a beautiful. It's like an art form that has been for decades has been something that the Danish people have focused on, and they believe that in particular in January that practicing hygge, which is all the things that make us feel cozy, should be surrounding ourselves. So hopefully that's really inspiring some of you. All right, for those ladies who said, hey, I have something that I want to share, go ahead and flip on your cameras. We're gonna get the those of you who are in the audience, we're going to scoot you over to the participant role, because we do see you here. Hi, Stacy, I see you. Here we go. And we're going to get started, because we did about I don't know, maybe 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, is we sent out an all call to the speakers and sponsors and wave makers that really leaned into the Woman Up community in 2022 and said, hey, we want to do something special to kick off the year. Would you be willing to come on the show and share? And the women that you are going to see today are the ones that were like, oh, hell yes. So without further ado, I think we're going to start with Ms. Stacy Soleil, who, I mean, Soleil, the sun shining in behind her head. I mean, is this like was this set up?
I'm sitting here going, wow, I guess I'm hello, everybody. Nice to see you.
Hi.
Oh my goodness. I love going through the chat thread as we're having these conversations and listening to your inspirations and just hearing everyone's yeah, it does look like a special effect, doesn't it? That's hilarious. I don't even have a ring light. This is the sun deciding to show up. Hello, Mother Nature. We welcome you. So thank you. Okay, so the sharing, the part was some wisdom. So how are we leaning into 2023? What are we doing to reflect and figure out what last year we're bringing into the 2023 realm and what we're going to focus on moving forward? And one of my favorite practices, can you see me better if I duck under the sun? I feel like I'm not making eye contact. One of my very favorite practices is reflection. And whether that's for you prayer, whether that's meditation, whether that's a quiet walk, whatever that looks like for you, thinking about over the past year, who touched your heart, who made a difference in your year. It might have been little, it might have been big, but just I just sit down and I make a cup of tea and I really just think about it. And whoever's name comes to my heart, I get my journal for the year and I jot down the names and then I send them a note. Some of you already got your note. But what I'm saying is it's just a way to start with intention of filling up the cups of those that filled yours and just sort of laying the seed of positive intention as you move forward and sort of sow your seeds for 2023. So that's my favorite practice.
I love that so much. That's so beautiful. And it's something that it is free and the impact is massive. It is massive. You're raising the vibration. I love that so much. I will make sure to get the community connected with you, Stacy, because you will, of course, also be in New York with us. So we will hear your wisdom on refining their business plans at Inman Connect a little bit later this month. We're so grateful for you. We're so grateful for everything that you did for us in 2022. And oh my goodness, for those of you that were at the event or were watching the event that we had in Huntington Beach, Stacy was one of the amazing wave makers, letting you all see what was happening inside of our social media feed. So that was amazing. So good. So
it was so much fun. Barb Betts, hats off to her as well. The partnership of getting a chance to shine a light on all of you as you were having fun and your dancing and your shares and your speeches and all of the food and all the goodness. I can't wait to hear about this year. Can't wait.
Soon. Awesome. Okay, Renee, we are dropping the mic to you. What is your wisdom that you want to share with the community?
First of all, hello, sisters. Happy 2023. It's an honor to be here, and I'm donning my shirt. There you go, all day at our association meeting and everything, caravans. So love WomanUP. So thank you. I would say that I've really been thinking about this because a little bit of downtime through the holidays was comparison. Comparing. When we compare ourselves to others, we rob ourselves of the uniqueness that we are, who we are created to be. Sarah was talking about her words and her purpose and being focused on what her purpose is. Well, when we're focused on someone else and who they are and what they're made to be, we rob ourselves of the beautiful person that God created us to be. It's like saying, okay, that's junk that you created, and you're talking to yourself in the mirror. Who wants to hear that? And it's a lie. We weren't created in junk. We might not have the same talents. I don't have the same talents as Deborah has. I don't have the same talents as Sarah. I am not, I'm not a Sabrina Brown. I love her, but I'm not a Sabrina Brown. I can look up to her, but when we compare ourselves and say, we're not doing this, or this person is like that, we are not being who we are supposed to be. And are we in the right seat with our talents? And together, we make a beautiful orchestra. Together, have you ever seen, I mean, I love music, but if you have one trumpet and he's playing this, but you see the conductor with the beautiful symphony making music together. We're created in this world to have this beautiful music together. We are not created to compare ourselves to the first seat. I wish I was over there. And I feel so many times in my life personally, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know who I was. I wanted to find somebody or something that looked like me, that felt like me. So years comparing and not fitting in and being very unhappy because I was trying to find. But when you are just being you in your God-given gifts and living in your gifts and living and not comparing yourselves to others, I think that's where you grow. That's where you really can give to the world who you are. But stop, women, we have to stop comparing ourselves to each other because
Amen.
we're not the other person. I mean, I do it too. You go in the gym, oh, it's her. Wait, am I like that? No. You just be who you are and love who you are. And you're going to be so much more used for your uniqueness and created to be in your purpose. So thanks. That's what I've been thinking about.
I love that, Renee. Will you drop in a link for people to connect with you inside the chat? Because I know that you are sparking some fire today. I love that. I think that there's so much power in, of course, I'm sure Bertina is going to talk about the power of you. And so many times I think we forget that when we are in our authentic self, that is actually when we're in our flow. And so opportunities, people, projects, the money, it all is attracted to us because we're in that flow. And so there is good reason to become and stay your authentic self. I love it. Thank you so much, Renee. Rhonda, help us, Rhonda, help us, Rhonda.
Hello. Oh my gosh, my soul sister Renee and all the sisters on this call. You know what it is? We're a community of like-minded, lovely ladies that really, I mean, Renee, I could repeat you word for word because it is the uniqueness of you, the uniqueness of me that builds such a beautiful world. And that too is my focus. Like, there's no comparison, there's no competition, there's co-opetition where we work together. And I think the most beautiful thing about the WomanUP community is legit, we celebrate one another, we value each other's stories, and we encourage women to tell their story. And so Uniquely You is truly where it's at. Community, locking arms with other women to elevate you, to encourage you, to inspire you, and you do the same in return for others. And it's kind of funny, that's probably a huge theme in our community because it's the core of who we are. And so let's celebrate our uniqueness and celebrate one another's.
I want to give you a shout out because one thing that you've done that is very, very unique to you is naming your brokerage.
I did. So that was one of the coolest things about having my own brokerage is it got to be me. It got to be a part of my heart, my heartbeat, my cult, just everything. And for those of you that don't know, it's called Sparrow Lily. And the sparrow represents joy and the lily, new beginnings. So put it all together, it's joy in the journey of new beginnings. And it has some deep spiritual meaning for me as well. The sparrows, there's a verse in the Bible that God promises to always take care of the sparrows and provision, and the lilies don't have to worry. So we don't have to worry as well. So it's definitely a reminder for me of my little company that I get the opportunity to steward.
I love that. Let your light shine, sister.
Thank you.
Oh goodness. Please do drop in a comment in the comments, ways for people to connect with you. That would be wonderful. All right, Ms. Pam Blair, Ms. Yoga Bug Real Estate. What do you have for us today?
Hello, ladies. Hi, so excited to see you. Happy 2023. So my wisdom for today is through a personal experience in December. I had a dream, and I was one of those dreams where I literally sat up in bed. Haven't had one of those for years. And what it came across my screen was I have to completely revamp my business model. Completely head to toe to achieve my long-term goals. So it was like, wow, oh my God, what just happened? And the pancake flipped. So for me, this 2003, I think it's a really propitious year, if this speaks to you at all, to lay groundwork. I think that we are being encouraged and given the space to slow down. And personally, I am, one of my goals is to embrace that and to use that to create groundwork, to reassess how I've been doing things, how I want to do things, to let go of some identifications that no longer serve me, and to face my big fears. So my word for this year is transformation. Because of that, I feel like I'm kind of in the fire right now, and I'm going to be for a while. And I just think it's a really, really propitious year to drop in, as Deborah encouraged, take care of ourselves so that we can feel strong and grounded. And so if you're in the mood for change or feel it coming, I think this year is going to be just incredible opportunity for that.
I agree. You know, a word that comes to me when you're saying all of these is alignment. Right. I think that we all know that so many of the things we no longer are. And in particular, because of the pandemic and what it taught us, right? Some of them were good lessons and felt really good for us. And some of them were tough, but they all served us well. Right. And now realigning ourselves is so huge.
It's so true. And I think all the people in this community that I've met, they're really into constant growth, constant improvement, self-development. And I'm always reminding myself that you get to the top of the ladder of whatever self-development you're on, and then all of a sudden you're on the bottom rung of the next ladder. And I feel like, that really speaks to me this year. It's like you hit a certain point and then you're starting over, but at a totally different level. And being in alignment and being willing to let go of what no longer serves you it's hard, but it's so vital. It's so important.
Yes. Amen. I know that you're doing some things with women in your local community. You mentioned that you were doing kind of a release and burn. It's these things like I love seeing kind of this spiritualness, like wrapping and weaving into business more and more and more. Even in my consulting practice, I'm like the word soulful leaders. It attracts this community of people who, yet while they want to grow, like you're saying, are also saying, I do like to rest. I do need to slow down. And so I love, I think we're all saying so many of like words that vibrate at the same level, right? We're all seeking this new, beautiful, transformative space. I'm so grateful for you, Pam. Thank you for everything that you poured into the community in 2022 as well. For those of you here that were at the conference, you likely either attended or intended to attend Pam's beautiful morning yoga. And so please connect with her. She does other things throughout the year that are amazing around that as well. So please get connected with her. Pam, I don't think we have anything if we do, we'll drop it in, but feel free to drop in your links inside the chat. Again, for anybody who's listening to this as the replay, we will have all of their contact information in the recap blog. So don't worry if you're like, what the heck? Okay. We're going to bring it home with Bettina Power.
Stop it. Hello, everybody. I love it. I was like, okay, I think she's coming to me next. I don't see anybody else coming up there. So, you know, they always give me something I'm supposed to be saying, but you all then start talking and it's just feeding me to say some things even more. I am so happy to hear that self-care is a priority for so many people and that people understand that self-care is deeper than hair and nails. It really is. I mean, I love it as a part of the list. We must do it. I have not done mine, so to see where I'm at, but you know, it is a part of the list, but that deeper part, that rest, that slow down, I've told people more than enough times that COVID, as crucial and devastating as it was to places and people, for me, it was to stop and smell the roses that I needed in my life. That's the only reason I'm here, guys. That's all I can tell you. It's the reason I'm here. It was the reason I was slow enough to be able to write a book. It was the reason that, you know, that brought me to stages. That was the only reason I know for a fact that I got here, right? So stopping and smelling those roses is ideal. It was not my thing. So let me talk about what I said, what I offered up. That was not it, but everybody was talking about all these things that I thought it was just so important. So I found this quote and it said the devil, and I can say quite like what Sarah was saying, sometimes that negative, right? The word was devil in the speech, but negative thoughts, all of those can be considered the same thing. It whispers in your head, you know, stuff like you cannot withstand the storm.
Yeah.
You can't. That's what it whispers. But see, I am here to tell you that I know these WomanUP warriors that are here. They all replied back and said, I am the storm. You understand what I'm saying? I am the storm.
Yes.
So I don't need to withstand the storm. I am the storm. And then remember this, life, this was a quote that I'm telling you, it pulled me out of my space. You all are familiar with that is, but life is not about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain. So I don't care what's going on in anyone's arena, life, and or the market, you know, dismiss it in the fact that it is happening regardless of what you have going on. So learn to dance in that storm. And what are some of the ways that we can do that? And I heard some people mention that earlier, and that is, know this, you're never too old to reinvent yourself. So I love whoever said transformation. I love whoever said, you know, I'm looking to do some new things, maybe learn the property management, whatever is going on. It is never too late to and you're never too old to reinvent yourself. See, we think, oh, you know, I've been doing this forever. This is all I can do. I am one that says, no. Reinvent yourself, okay? And it's okay. I can't really see what anybody might be popping up over on the screen, but I see it. I'll read it a little bit later. But I just wanted to come and share that because it's a little bit different. But that storm, and this is all storms, divorce, financial, you know, the struggle with our business, you know, relationships, whatever the case may be, even how you might feel about yourself. So remember that in terms of the fact that you're here. How about that? How about everybody realizes you're here today? So whatever it was that you thought was about to destroy you, you're here.
That's right.
You made it already. So let's just be gratitude and be grateful in that fact right there. Because if we start with gratitude on a regular basis, then that leads to, you know, gratitude can lead to that positive thank you for everything that we have. You know, it changes your attitude. Gratitude changes your attitude. It does that. And I think that's all I wanted to say about that. Am I ready to jump, Deborah? Or did you want to say something else first?
You are so good. I love it. Definitely you're going to want to take a peek as we start asking everybody for their rapid fire book or podcast, because there is some fire in there for you. I think it's so beautiful. You know, I want to share really quickly a mantra that Sarah and I actually would text back and forth to each other in 2022. It's something that's very near and dear to me. It's everything is always working out for me. And so if you need a go-to when you are in whatever it is, everything is always working out for me is really the most perfect umbrella mantra there is.
Yeah.
Because it's everything, even when you're like, why am I standing in this long line? Because everything is working out for me.
That's right.
I love that. Okay, so before we get into the rapid fire, Bertina, we want to talk about what's happening on the 27th of this month, which is our fourth Friday of this month. So I'm gonna let you like spill the beans.
Okay, because I'm so excited. I'm so excited, right? So Deborah came to me and I wanted to be one of those people in New York. So I'm not going to be able to be there at Inman, but I was blessed and gracious and so excited to have been asked to do, I guess, what would have been coffee and conversations. But I didn't tell Deborah this. I was like, Deborah, you know I don't drink coffee. I can't do coffee and conversations. I think we got to make it my own thing, right? We got to make it my own thing. So Friday, January 27th, will be the Empower Hour. Boom! You gotta love it, okay? So I look forward to seeing all these same wonderful faces there. I'm not giving away just yet. We will advertise it and market it exactly what we will be talking about. But you know me, you're gonna want to come anyway. So just be here. It is the normal same time, 2 p.m. Central Standard. I mean, no, not Central, Pacific time. 4 o'clock Central, 5 o'clock Eastern. So that is next week. I'm going to be taking over that Empower Hour, which is normally coffee and conversations, next 2 Fridays from now, right?
2 Fridays,
so I look forward to seeing you all. And it won't be, I think it's going to be a lot of very interactive stuff. So anything you've ever wanted to ask me, you just haven't had time, or come on by, you know, we're just going to have a good old time. And I think mine should come with wine and not coffee. So, you know.
Like I said, whatever you want to do. And I would just like to say that this is one of those, everything is always working out for me, because we couldn't have you in New York, but now we get you for a whole hour.
You give me for a whole hour. Everything is working out for me. I'm taking that. I love it. Just like I'm taking your motivate to activate, right?
That's
because
right.
that's exactly
Right.
That's what my goal is. It's not one word, but that's where I am for this year. It is about motivating to activate. I don't want to just get out there and make you feel good. If you don't tell me you did something based off of what I said, then I don't even want to hear. Like you got to get up and go do something about it, right? Which is what we are referring to. All right. So I love it. I cannot wait to see you all. I love seeing half of you all now, but we're going to have everybody's faces on the next time. I love it.
Well, first of all, I'm before we move on, I'm honored that you love the motivate to activate. And feel free to use often and everywhere, and the mantra as well. I think that's the beauty of this community, is we share all of these beautiful pearls and we pick them up and we add them to our own, and that's how we roll. So I love it. Let's see. Okay.
You want me to do my book?
So actually, I'm going to call on Sarah first, because Sarah has, she's leading by example today. So share a little bit about why you're going first, and then share your book or your
I'm going first because I have to go be a soccer mom to my 12-year-old who is on her middle school soccer team, has never played soccer other than the last couple of weeks. So I'm going to go support her. But my, what is this, podcast or book?
Podcast or book, please. Okay. Rapid fire.
My recommendation, I've said this before on this call, Archetypes with Meghan Markle. So good. It's all about dissecting the labels and stereotypes that hold us back. We talk a lot about that in the WomanUP community on our stages. And it's just such a great listen. So binge watching it, Archetypes podcast. And thank you, Tiffany. I hate being a soccer mom because I like indoor and it's cold, but I love being a soccer mom because I'm just able to be there for my daughter. So thank you all. Mwah.
Thanks, Sarah. Okay, Bertina, let's swing it back to you. What is your book or podcast that everyone should consume in 2023?
Well, if you have not gotten it, I don't know why. Because everything everybody is talking about is right here in here. Power of self-care. I heard forgiveness. I heard mindset. It's prayer, patience is all in here. So you should have that. But that's, of course, a selfless plug. But my book, if you haven't, and this is a couple of years old, but I love this book. You Are a Badass.
Yeah,
You are
Jen,
badass.
she's good.
If you have not read this book, this is a great book. You know, it does a lot of the same things that I say about. But if there was a real estate book that I would mention, is Exactly What to Say. Have you seen this book? Exactly What to Say by Phil Jones. The little black book. And so it helps you when listing appointments or talking to people, like, what could you say that makes them move? Right? Little bit thing. I heard people say trying something new, doing new things. Try changing the words. Power of words is in the book. So try the words, because they are very effective when you change them. And that's exactly what to say. So those are my 2 books. I don't listen to podcasts that much. I'm not in the car. So I don't know what to tell
I
you.
love it.
But
I love it.
those
And
are my
let's
books,
just
okay?
let us be real. We said rapid fire 1 and Bertina turns in 3. So there you go. That the essence of Bertina power right there. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to throw the mic to Pam. Pam, what is your recommendation?
Absolutely. My recommendation is A Well-Behaved Woman by Teresa Ann Fowler. It's about Alva Vanderbilt, who was an activist for women's suffrage. And I love historical fiction. And it's the only book in my entire life, because it was speaking to me. I started reading it, like 500 and some pages, ended it, and started over again. Yeah. So it's a great, for me, it was great inspiration of this woman who, was culturally in these certain circumstances, and how she was very strategic to use her power and her intellect and to change the society, and to achieve her own personal and professional goals. So anyway, it was super inspiring. If you like historical fiction, great book.
Love it. Thank you so much. All right, Rhonda, what's your recommendation?
So for me, I think, a lot of people came out of COVID and some negativity came with them, right? So we all kind of have that little well, it happens to them, but not me. And how come it doesn't happen to me? And anyways, long story short, Your Greater Is Coming by Joel Osteen. And it is just fire for your soul. It unlocks the why not? Why not me? Why wouldn't good things happen to me? And it was one of the most life-changing books. I wish I would have read it at the beginning of the year, not the end of the year. And heck yes, it's a yes.
I love it. I love it. That's a great reminder. It doesn't matter when we read books, because it's always our new year every morning we wake up. So we don't have to wait for that Gregorian calendar again to tell us January 1st is the restart, especially around here at WomanUP. Okay, Renee, what is your recommendation?
All right, it's an ancient book, but there's nothing new under the sun. And I gotta say, it's my Bible. It's my Bible full of all sorts of stuff.
Look at that Bible. Oh my gosh, that is used.
It's used, it's read through, it's got highlights, it's got a lot of wishes and dreams and things all in here. But I gotta tell you, I know a lot of people have been hurt by this. A lot of people, there's things that people have that it just didn't work for them. I urge you to just go away with it alone with God and just ask him to reveal himself to you. Just ask him to speak to you, ask him to talk to you. The pain and things that we suffer from people, and sometimes it's just folks in our lives. And I'm sorry if it was a pastor, it was someone who did something to you, shouldn't have a parent. I apologize. And I know that stuff is real. I know that happens. But I do know that wisdom is in this ancient book. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. And he loves us and wants to talk to us. And if we just speak to him, I believe I wouldn't be where I was, and revealing the things that the person that I am now, if it wasn't for me just taking the time just to ask him, please identify yourself to me, show me you, I need to talk, I can't do this by myself. And he shows up. If you just want to know somewhere to start, don't open the book and go, oh, there it is. People do that. I wouldn't recommend it, but they do. I would say just start in Proverbs, wisdom. A little bit every day, just something from wisdom every day. If you want to know about money, money's in here. If you want to know about relationships, relationships are in here. If you want to know about business, it's all in here. there's a lot. This is very interesting. It's better than some movies. You really gotta, have you read Solomon, Song of Solomon? So it's all in here. So I really encourage you, if you've been hurt by it, I'm sorry. That's not the way it's meant to be, but I do know your purpose, your calling, your life, who you are, what you're made to be. You'll find it in there. And that's every day. And if you don't have time for it, listen to it. I'm going to drop in. There's a Bible. You can just listen to it a little bit every day. It just gets in there. So thank you. Thank you for allowing me to share.
I love it. Of course, of course. And I think that what is so beautiful about everything you've shared today, Renee, is that we all know that you live both you and Rhonda are very faith forward. And we appreciate you bringing your authentic selves to the WomanUP table. It's beautiful. And I know that there is an entire community inside our community that their hearts are filling up with your words. And so that's why we're here, right? That's why we have an eclectic group every single time, so that we're reaching out and touching everyone where they're at today, helping them get to where they want to go.
And I gotta say, thank you for allowing us the platform to be our authentic selves. Because a lot of times in business, you say, "Oh, can't share my face cam," But thank you for allowing us to do that. So thank you.
Yeah, you are so very welcome. Okay, let's see, Stacy. What do you got over there?
Okay. So
you have props?
Yes, I have props. The sun went down, so I have a face. Hello, I'm back.
Hi.
Okay, so 2023. So I love books. I do. I really, really love books, whether it's Kindle, whether it's paperback. I love it all. And I realized that I became sort of a collector of the books. And I realized that much like you, Pam, sometimes you just have to go back through, because that second time you read it, or that third time you read it, you're going to get something different. There's wisdom between the pages, between the sentences that you missed the first time. So this year's reread, or not like I'm going to do one book this year, but I'm starting off this year rereading Presence by Amy Cuddy.
Oh, Amy.
Because ladies, because Bertina, we were together. That's Superman, Superwoman, superpower, power girl, the stance. But just body language is so empowering, and it's something that helps us read the room. It helps us to understand conversations, and we lose a lot of that with our online conversations, with our text messages and all of those things, and we miss it. And so for me, diving back in and connecting to those expressions and the sounds, and being really intentional about those connections in my brain as I release them back out through my words and my actions. That's what I'm starting out again with this year. So, and I'll drop, there's a really great TED Talk that she does as well, that was actually around before the book. I don't know if you guys knew this. Before the book was the TED Talk, and I threw that in there. It's a great way to just kind of kick off the new year.
Perfect. I love that. I love Amy. In the 2019 conference, we had the whole room stand up and do the Wonder Woman pose. Do you remember that, Pam? It was so much fun. And then afterwards in the hall, like all these photos of, the women just like doing it, right? It does change our presence. It changes the vibration. It raises the vibration. Okay. So my pick, you all know that I'm a total book nerd as well. But this book, actually, if you've not read it yet, it's called Multipliers. I actually got it from Tammy Bunnell, who is the co-chair over at Exit Realty, who is a sponsor of WomanUP every single year. This book, for those of you who fight the urge to be the smartest person in the room, or feel that you have to be in order to be the leader, this book will help you from being the leader that kills ideas or repeats other people's ideas, and becomes the one that allows people to flow their ideas in a room around you. And it's so beautiful. Liz was an executive at Oracle, which is a really large corporation in California. There's just so much wisdom inside there. And it's really great reminders that we don't have to be, nor really should we strive to be the smartest in the room. And the power of being the one who is being showered with ideas from other people is such a beautiful experience that we really want to give ourselves. I know we're dropping that in there. I know there's a great Audible of that as well. But that's super fun. I will again remind everybody that the recap, the replay for this will all be over on the blog. So if you missed one of the books that was shared, of course, it will be in the recap, and including Bertina's Empower Hour and all three of her books. We'll make sure to include those in there. I am so grateful for all of you for joining us, for giving of your time and talents today. There are many people who are here in the chat room. I don't know if you've seen on your moments to go over there, but there's quite a few people here who are here for the first time. And as we love to say, this is not the normal women's group experience. We definitely have created a very sacred space for all of us to be able to come together and share who we are on the path to becoming who we're meant to be. And there is so much power in that, and linking arms with one another. Together we are better, and we really do have the ability to lift each other up without dimming our own flames. So we look forward to sharing this entire year with all of you. We look forward to seeing those of you who will be in New York. We look forward to seeing you there. We'll, of course, recap what goes on there as well. Make sure that you're following us on social media, in particular Instagram. That's where we tend to share our visual story. That's at WomanUP Official over on the IG. And we'll make sure to get you everybody who is going to be there. We'll make sure that you know who's going to be there, because they're going to be at the meetup, right? The meetup also on the 25th of January, 4:30 at the Hilton. So until our next time together, everyone, we just wish you the most blessed, amazing year. I am wrapping you all in love and light, and just sprinkling blessings over everyone. Have a great rest of your day. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye, everyone. Take care.